Yo, what's up? Japanese name. How you doing? Get on right now. Can you guys tell me if the audio sounds good? It's Chorondo. Chorondo. Are you a Latino person who likes the Japanese culture? What's up, Candido? Yeah, it's gonna be pretty easy today. Just met with my PT this morning, and he has me running a little bit more. Told me to keep taking it easy though. Okay, is someone like here? So Candido, you're here. Here's what I'm gonna do. You can hear me audio. Yeah, you're a Latino dude who loves Japanese culture. I love that crossover. Yeah. Yeah, the thing is you have to prioritize your comfort in order to prioritize your health. That's the thing. It's like you're blessed if you can approach it the Goggins way and just like stay hard. But a lot of times you have to go less hard than you wish in order to like be optimal. Okay, guys who are in here, let me know. My audio sounds how it is right now. Does it sound? Let me know if it sounds muffled when I do this. I'm talking right now with my mic covered. I'm making sure that the mic is indeed working. You know, does it sound? Sounds muffled. Okay, good. So it's coming through the mic. You phased out of it. Okay, then we're all systems go with the proper microphone. Let's see. Yeah, so I thought I would try and make it so that one of these, what's up, Noah? How you doing, son? What's up, Smiley? So yeah, if anybody wants to take it away, especially because the lives, oh, thanks for the heart me. Thank you, bro. Especially because we're not gonna have a ton of people. Thanks for following, Smiley, on this live. If you guys want to share any resolutions you have, you know, there's like the basic ones, right? Get in shape, sleep better, be more productive. But if anyone has one that they've kind of thought through, you know, and you can explain some of the problems you have in your life, basically I'll go into detail because I've got some resolutions that I'm working over, you know, but you got to think them through because everybody wants to be better, but a lot of people end up not getting better, right? So what are some things on everyone's minds? We're coming up to the end of my first run block here. Boom. Time to walk for a bit. Focus on being serious with life. So what are some ways you've been unserious with life? Because I'm thinking the same thing. I don't want to throw away my shot, you know, shout out to Hamilton, you know. 2-mile run time around 13:45. So you're a real runner. Chorondo. I'm not really interval, I guess I am interval training, but it's because my PT wants me to be able to get time on feet without overloading my foot. The lion lacks motivation. Thank you, Raw. Yeah, walking is good, especially because I got a weak ass foot apparently. 6'2", went from 250 to 230. That's pretty damn solid. You're a lot bigger than I am, bro. You know, you would sun me if we met in real life. Drop the habit on procrastinating. Yeah, so okay, take life more seriously, stop procrastinating, right? Okay, back to a run chapter, here we go. So my thing is, I always try to narrow it down to like a single thing. Dude, Air Force Standard is a fucking sub 7-minute mile, 2 miles in a row. What's up, Spiral? What's up, GK? Yeah, I be running. You know, I'm running and walking because I'm out of shape and my foot is weak. But yeah, okay. So everybody wants to take life a little more seriously, right? And then get a handle on procrastinating. But what does that mean? Right? What is it? What are the reasons that you procrastinate? I guess I feel like I have a lot of time, right? That it doesn't materially hurt me to procrastinate other than to be a day later on the things that I want, right? 6K of my life. It's like 3.6 miles, a little more than 3.6 miles. It's also 67 push-ups in less than a minute. That's crazy. All right. Yeah, so what are the reasons we procrastinate? Guys, help me figure this out. Let's figure this out together, right? Like, there's the procrastination of it feels like there's too many things to do, so you might as well do none of them. I don't think that's like the most insidious one. I think a lot of people who otherwise have their lives together. So, yes, I am Caden. I'm working on it. Try rowing. I cross-train with swimming and elliptical. Yeah, we procrastinate because I think we have a lot of time. Like, we think we have a lot of time, and we don't, right? We're running out of time. You only get one life. You don't want to waste your shot. You don't want to throw away your shot, right? Did you know the ratio of miles to clicks is 1% of the golden ratio? I wonder if I ran faster, would I get some more viewership? You know, I wonder if that's at all related. Procrastinate because we have a cushion, yeah. So like, there's some people where like bad things happen to them, but they get through it, and it's almost like a blessing, right? But like, how pathetic is that for the rest of us, that we need the threat of our lives being taken away, something being taken away in order to appreciate what we have, right? That's no good. So how do you try and, so the thing that I've thought about when I first saw Hamilton like 2 or 3 days ago was like, I need to remember that I'm going to die, right? And not in the sense of like every couple scrolls higher up wellness comes up on your feed and tells you some shit. No, you got to remember that you are going to die and that you are very lucky to have this life. Yeah, if you had 5 minutes to get out of a burning house, we wouldn't procrastinate a minute. But we have 60 years to make something of our lives the way we want it to be, and we end up procrastinating, right? What's one day? You know, coming up on a walk block here. All right, 1 minute of walking. Different species do it differently. This is so random. Yeah, the lion is running. Memento mori. Does that mean remember death? Yeah, I think short form content. I sound like Coach Bennett. If I wasn't as creative, if I didn't want to be recognized for that, I think I would have a fun time being like a Peloton coach, you know? Yeah, basketball's tough. Talking about 28 years later. What's 28 years later? The lion doesn't concern himself with existential dread. No, so it's like, I think that was a big part of Hamilton too. Dude's mom died in front of him, right? I'm not a good hooper. You know, I always do okay because I'm sized okay. And, you know, I'm in shape to play defense. But when you go to like an open run with like teams waiting, you know, you get like 15 people on a court. People are so good at basketball, you know? Memento vitae. What is vitae? To live? I always think I'm a better hooper than I am. Sports are so much better for cardio. So, I mean, I'm running because I'm romantically like the idea of a runner. Like, that we were made to run, you know, there's that whole born to run movement. But no, guys, nah. Let's discuss appreciating life, you know? So, we feel like we have a lot of time and we're wrong, right? And we don't realize it till we're out of that time, you know? And there's some people who are taught early in life that we will die, you know, like Hamilton with his mother. But a lot of us in the first world, we just feel like time is ticking, but like no day, tomorrow doesn't seem different than yesterday. So all we did was delay by one day when we feel like we have 20, 30 years to get our stuff together. And that's just wrong, right? Yo, the lion is back with his lives. What's up? Oh, what's up, Landon? You used to watch the lives. It's been a while. God, I hate when people try to co-host with me. Let me decline. Okay. Let's see. Running to see a loop on app. I love you, Unc. I love you too, Troy. Bro is obsessed with Hamilton. Yeah, Hamilton did a number on me. I got the Essential Hamilton, which is a collection of his letters, you know? Because I think there's a big wave towards reading fiction, because when you admire like a character in a narrative, you learn a lot of lessons from that, more so than you might get from a lot of self-help books. But every time watches for the right time to start. Is that Hamlet? Maybe I should watch Hamlet or read Hamlet. But I'm going to start with Hamilton because he's a real person and I really admire him. So, Did you get a copy of The Prince of Nothing? No, I did not. DM me that, please, and I'll add it to my list. But we're going to start with Hamilton. He wasn't that good of a man. What was wrong with Hamilton? That he cheated? Or that he was like a federalist, he wanted big government, which I don't really agree with, but maybe it's just because I'm a descendant of Jefferson's ideals, right? He won the ideals battle. The Bracer, I would recommend Ender's Game and Speaker for the Dead. Always. I would always start there. How come you admire success over morality? I don't. You're the one projecting stuff, dude. You gotta focus on the topic at hand, right? I admired that Hamilton felt like he was gonna run out of time. I admired that he was constantly writing. Bill Burr vibes. Like me, jogging for cortisol. Oh man, the chat is popping off today. What's up, Mimi? I've been live maybe like 10 minutes now. The people I look up to you are projecting, dude. Do you also think I look up to Clav? And who else? Who else did I talk about? BRS, you know? Love your content, brother. Thank you, Christian. What's up, Joey? I'm projecting by saying I might be getting a little defensive. You know, maybe you're not in that camp, but a lot of people are, right? It's people who are in the middle of an argument inside their head constantly. And so when you come in with your take, they have to put you into one of the buckets, you know? Reading souls via people's faces. Okay. No, I don't think you. Clav is so weird. Yeah, Clav is weird. Mimi and Spiral catching up. Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, Hamilton. What do I admire about him? I admire very specific things. And, you know, to be fair, my TikToks are my TikToks. I try to make them fast. I'm not over-explaining things. But I specifically admire that he felt like he was running out of time, you know? And, of course, I admire his achievements, you know? Find me someone that did both, and then somebody wrote a play about him, and then things would be different. But, you know, Lynn Marinette or whoever wrote that play about Hamilton and put him in front of my radar, you know? Yeah, so the Fuentes guy, I've known about him for a long time because I talked to my friends who are pretty, you know, chronically online, like very aware of these things. You know, apparently a lot of his talking points have made it into the mainstream. So I think there's a lot of influence there. But I don't really think that he influenced the Overton window so much as the Overton window moved and whoever happened to represent like different viewpoints got their time in the limelight, you know? I tend to not really think of these speakers as that dangerous, at least not on the level that Fuentes is, you know? It's been popular since 2023. I think my friend's been on him since like 2020, you know? Horrible execution. I mean, yeah, damn. How much do I lean on the wheel of my chat? Because I wanted to try and think to myself and bounce ideas off a chat room full of people about New Year's resolutions. And how do you distill that down into like a concise set of mottos and ideals to make them effective, you know? Muhammad did way more in terms of government. All right, if someone makes a super popular play about Muhammad, I'd probably watch that too, even from a non-religious standpoint. All right. All right, let's just guide it towards where I want to go. So we procrastinate because we feel like we have too much time, like we have more than we really have. And if we really understood how little time that we have, I don't think we would procrastinate as much. Oh, boy. Yeah. If anybody wants to start sharing like resolutions that they have, yeah, I think Fuentes is pretty controversial. So I've started to think, I mean, I've been thinking this for a long time. I'm just kind of, I've just been kind of like reaffirming what's important. Like this, a level of unshavedness, I'm gonna vow to never have that. I think that'll be a resolution. That one's really simple and external and easy to measure. Yeah, I think I'll take a picture of myself every day, or really just my TikToks. I'm making TikToks like every day now. Who knows if I'll keep that up throughout all 2026? Who knows? But I want to never be this unshaven. I want to be clean shaven the whole 2026. I think those things matter. And I think that kind of helps with the procrastinations and stuff. I thought you didn't like New Year's resolutions. I don't. I'd say the proof in that is that I've already lost the weight, right? I started that at the end of October. So I think you shouldn't wait for a New Year's resolution, but I'm already in a state of flux right now. I'm already in this kind of headspace. So, and then everybody else also happens to be in the headspace at the same time. So let's talk about it, right? So I don't think New Year's resolutions are special, but since everybody's agreed to talk about it at this time of year, let's do that. So yeah, I think there's how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so I think I had my life more together when I was going into an office. I think I had my life more together when I would never dare show up to high school without showering in the morning, versus nowadays it's like, oh, I showered last night. I haven't really done anything today. I'll go out today, and then I'll shower when I get home. No, I want to get to where I start every day with a shower, There was a point in my life where I was showering 3 times a day. Once in the morning, once after tennis practice, and then I would get home, and if I went to the gym, I would shower after that too, Curse less, and I can never manage it. Oh, that's a big one for me. Yeah, I need to control my tongue, So, how did I know what content to start posting? Well, the Lion was just like a joke. The screen time one was like a one-off. And before that, it was the Jersey Mike's run, which was just 8 videos, but they blew the hell up. One of them is still my 5th most popular video on the main account. And then I just made this one and started talking about things, and then someone killed Kirk. And so I talked about that. That one blew up. 3 showers a day is 14-year-old behavior. I guess so, but I would shower in the morning before going to school because I was very worried about smelling, right? And I think that's fine. And then I would shower after school because I was on the tennis team and we went to an outdoor school. So I would want to shower at night before I got into the bed. And then once I started lifting weights at the end of my junior year, I would lift weights after tennis practice. So it's shower in the morning, so I go to school freshly showered, shower after tennis practice, and then if I went to the gym, shower after that so that I could go to bed. So now we're at a 3 shower. I'm like a machine. I'm like a Formula One car, but I'm my own pit crew. That's kind of how I'm looking at it now. And I need to be that. This is a sign. This beard, or whatever, this stubble is not good. It's a sign that the pit master is not taking good care of the car, that the car isn't seeing a lot of action. So, all right, that's one resolution. I'm gonna, turn around, 1 minute walk time. Let's catch up on chat. Showers is a subjective thing. Yeah, it is a subjective thing. What's your goal with this account? I don't know. I started the book club this morning and I just thought what am I trying to get? It would be nice if I had a community of people that I could consider to be pretty high quality, With The Witch and the Wardrobe, yeah, I kind of want to reread C.S. Lewis. I think he probably had a lot of knowledge in there. I think the human brain is bad with abstract goals. I agree completely, which is why, yeah, I'm the car. Regular oil changes, the shaving, right? That's a very external and shallow goal that symbolizes a lot of deeper intention. So no main. Personally, I'm a workout. Yeah. Conco, one thing I did a few years back, I just made it my goal to drive to the gym. And so I would drive to the gym and sit in the parking lot in my car and play Clash Royale for an hour. Start small. If you're someone who hasn't been exercising and maybe you're already intermediate there. you know. Narnia is good. I didn't catch Islamophobia in Narnia the first time, but maybe I'll catch it now that I'm older, you know. I know this very well with Ender's Game. What are your thoughts on the ZA? Oh, I'm against it. I think there's a lot of worse things you could be doing. But as someone who used to hit the ZA like all day, every day for about 5 years, I think it's like if you could be hitting the ZA, you could be doing something else, you know? And then so, but people watch TV, people recreationally watch sports. Like you're gonna not always be productive, but like hitting the ZA, there's like more productive ways to relax. And a lot of people are gonna take a semantic argument to that, but it's like, there are people out there who relax by reading fiction, you know, from like well-accomplished authors. I wanna try and get to that kind of headspace, you know? Find the energy to complete his goals when it feels impossible. You gotta make your goals smaller. I think that's like the move. I've read Atomic Habits. It informs a lot of my perspective on goals. You know, anyone who's read that book could tell I'm not trying to hide the influence that it had on me. You know, what if you run and do the ZA? Yeah, I think that's fun. Against ZA, first bad take. Yeah, it's okay if a lot of people disagree with me. If you run and hit the ZA, that's cool. If you hit the ZA and read, that's also cool. You know, the thing with the ZA is you can hit the ZA and do a lot of things. So it's very open-ended. But in general, I think the ZA is underhated, you know? Gooning recreationally, that's probably not good too. What about reading while high? Yeah, it's funny, like we both got there basically the same time. Yeah, I think that's no problem, you know? But by default, I think we're too accepting of the ZA, you know? Like if someone told you they have like 2 beers every night, you wouldn't say like, oh, that's a huge problem, but you would say that's not ideal. And I don't think we take that attitude towards ZA. I think we're still in like the rebound period of the ZA because it used to be illegal and, you know, it shouldn't have been illegal. And so people started saying stuff like, you know, there's no bad effects, you know, it's not as deleterious as alcohol, which is 100% true. I agree. But like, all right, so now it's legal. And I think the attitude is just kind of like, it's like a wonder drug and it's not, you know? Yeah, ZA makes you okay with being bored. I'll say that's basically the root of it. So if you have like a good structure in your life, if the backbone of your life is solid, you know, like you're someone who's constantly running. That's just an easy example because I'm running, but I'm not a big running advocate. You know, if you're just one of those people who ran like a 3:30 marathon and you want a 3:25 marathon next year, and now you're hitting the ZA, you know, while you eat and watch TV at the end of the day, that's fine. But you need some sort of backbone in your life. ZA will make you okay with not having a backbone in your life, not like being bored, not having a bigger narrative, you know. And you can argue that you don't need like a bigger narrative, that like life's not that serious, you know, there's no meaning to it. And if that's your philosophy, that's fine. Like, I wouldn't say that that's wrong, like literally, you know, but it's not the way that I want to live mine. So it's not legal everywhere. That's part of the reluctance to criticize it. Yeah, but that's something I kind of touched on too. It's just like, just because like the points you make are not salient in every context, you know? So I would say we underhate ZA in the US right now. So Zaza user and does stuff is productive is better than a person who doesn't drink Zaza and does nothing. Yes, Yanooks. And like, I don't like to capitulate just to sound like I'm trying to fence it, but I would agree with that statement 100%. For the people in here hitting the ZA and getting like, you know, just like feeling a type of way, it's like, yeah, if you hit the ZA and you read, or if you hit the ZA and you exercise, or hell, if you hit the ZA and you just invite your friends over to hit the ZA together and talk about your day, you're infinitely better. Not infinitely, but you're much better than someone who doesn't do those things and then scrolls TikTok, you know? But yeah, I would say the correlation between people who use ZA and don't have their lives together is a positive correlation. Thanks for the follow, Gardaki. What you mean by backbone? I mean like a foundation. A foundation. I don't mean courage. I like that one, actually. I'm going to screenshot it. The live is going to pause because iPhone. All right, am I back on live? Can you guys see me? Is everything okay? Should I make use of this gimbal and take a little action shot? Oh yeah, panorama. Look at me run. I'm a running influencer. I see you, no we can't, yes. Mitch, I'm gonna assume that message was lagged and I'm okay. I need to change my screenshotting settings. I heard you can disable the way it is after the new iOS update. It's fucking driving me nuts, you know? I live in SoCal, Toronto. Is it Toronto or Torindo? I think I possibly accidentally evaded the cops. Hey, as long as you have plausible deniability. Yeah. Sophia's boy. I'm trying to hit a 5-hour marathon so that I could do a marathon with my dad. We have to do 1 marathon to qualify for a 2nd marathon. Josh, I'll tell you how old I am, but could you guys take a guess? There's a way to make it not go full screen. Yeah, no, I heard someone commented that. Yeah, Apple's pretty terrible. 32, 31, yeah, you guys are good. I'm 32. Yeah, y'all know, I'm also addicted to TikTok too. So that's why the ebooks. So when I reread Ender's Game, I was reading Ender's Game obsessively. My TikTok use went damn near to 0. And then now I'm gonna read the Hamilton letters, the essential Hamilton. And hopefully that sucks me in. You know, hopefully Hamilton sucks me and I can get off TikTok. But yeah, damn, we never got anywhere with the resolutions other than exercise more. I'm gonna shave every day or every other day. I'm just gonna never let myself get unshaven again in 2026. Another awesome series, The Culture. Thank you, Quincy James. This is why I got a Kindle. Yeah, that's why I have a Kindle too. I recommend it. Hamilton always sucks me. Do you wear sunscreen? I usually do. I didn't today, just because I was rotting and scrolling and I was like, just get the hell off the couch and get this going, you know. I read Martyr by Kaveh Akbar and it was amazing. I live in SoCal, Hanley. Thanks for the follow, Drew Diggity. I have a series of books lined up with Worse and Worse Bedhead. Yeah, maybe I'll start making myself look put together for all my TikToks. I'm Korean or Mongolian. I like that. Thank you. Mongolian stock is on the rise thanks to Physical Asia. Yeah, I'm going to be shaving. I'm just going to kind of like, I've gotten too relaxed. I think as our culture, we've gotten too relaxed. I know the Europeans like to crap on us for that. You know, like we dress in sweats and stuff. I think I'm going to dress up like I'm trying to impress because I don't need to be told not to try and impress people. I think I'm too much myself already. I need to go back towards the other way and maintain appearances some. Because in maintaining appearances, you just kind of take yourself more seriously, and I think that's a good thing. So, oh damn, Jay. I lost a dog 3 years ago. How soon is soon? Is it to the point where if you put him down now, it wouldn't be too early? Damn. Ev's in chat for Jay having to put his dog down soon. My thing was, I'm not going to put the dog down early because it's sad to watch the dog suffer. I'm going to think from the dog's perspective and assume that my dog would tolerate a certain level of suffering to have a few more days with me, you know? So even though it's hard for me, and I would, you know, it'd be easy for me to say like, all right, let's just cut the cord early and put her down. I'm going to tolerate watching her in pain for some time. And then when I start to think the pain's too much, then I'll put her down. And that was how I made that decision, you know. Plant the tree today. Tomorrow can look good. F's in chat is crazy. Yeah, I'm on TikTok live, man. It is what it is, you know. Can we all express commiseration and condolences for Jay? Or can we just drop some F's in the chat, you know? Yeah, dude, the timing on that is hard. I couldn't see my animal in any amount of pain. So I would say that that's wrong because your dog would probably be like, hey, I'm fine. You know, I'll stick around a few more days, bro. You know? So if you put them down early, that's not discipline. That's, I guess, infantilizing your dog, which isn't like horrible. Obviously your dog's not as smart as a human. But yeah, I just thought like my dog would probably tolerate a moderate amount of pain to have a few more days with me, right? So even though it hurts me to see that, I'll leave her alive until I think that she would say, all right, time to let me go, you know? Yeah, Danny. Like, I think people saying like, don't wait too long. It's like, there's levels to this, right? Don't wait too long out of selfishness, but those are people without empathy, right? So don't wait too long because your dog's hurting, right? But what if you're already empathetic and you don't want to see your dog in any amount of pain? I would say that's wrong too, right? Your dog will probably tolerate some pain in order to be around a few more days. Yeah. Yeah, ask the vet. Yeah, we had a couple vets. We had two. But some vets are just kind of stupid, you know? Yeah, you have to thread the needle. Ultimately, erring on one side or the other is not so wrong. You know, if you put your dog down a little bit early before they start to feel too much pain, that's fine. And if you let them have a few more days of pain, they probably would have said, yeah, this wasn't too bad, you know, this wasn't too bad, man. I'll stick around. Yeah, I'm using a Coros because I lost my Apple Watch and I got a Coros for my girlfriend. So I'm using this watch and I have it set to run for 3 minutes, walk for 1 minute because my foot hurts and I'm supposed to ease into running. So that's what I'm doing. How old is the Lion? 32. Does anyone have some good New Year's resolutions they want to share? Some like insightful ones. What I want are the kind of resolutions that are simple, but they kind of like sit at the crossroads of a lot of things. So for me, staying on top of shaving my facial hair means I have to wake up on time, you know? And then that also means I have to shower because I don't like to shave without showering. Thank you, Captain Cobb. What's the business, Mitch? Yeah, Gungle, so that suggestion would be good for almost anyone, including me. It's pretty close. But my problem with my foot is when I toe off, I like compress the fifth metatarsal area, and it's not a stress fracture. So like walking on an incline where my foot would really like bend up, I don't know if that's necessarily good. I'm also avoiding Stairmaster for a similar reason, but I'm willing to do elliptical and swim. But I know a lot of the bulk bros, like the gym guys, they definitely like the incline walking. I'm seeing so many of that at the gym. Less drinking, that's a good one. Payment processing, oh, you're a software guy? Oh, I like that, Captain Cobb. I definitely have that too. You know, it's hard. I think I'm someone who has trouble discerning the truth from what his instincts are telling him. You know, my mind, my subconscious is a very good liar. My subconscious has a good theory of mind. You know, it tells me complex lies. It doesn't tell me things like, oh no, you're not fat. It tells me like deeper things. You know, I think we're all like this. You really got to be on the watch. Want to read more, want to better my schedule. Yeah, I think like another easy one that I've been toying with is something like, you know, keep my phone away from me when I'm not using it. And like, that's it. So no external goals that I can fail, like, you know, stay under X amount of hours, but just every time I sit down and I'm not on my phone doing something, put the phone as far out of my arm's reach as I can. Like reach over and leave it on the couch instead of my desk, and leave my Kindle. Because that's been working. When I was reading Ender's Game, at my desk job, I have a lot of downtime where like I make like a code change and it takes about 30 to 40 seconds for it to load. And during that time, I can open TikTok and those 30 to 40 seconds becomes like 45 minutes to an hour and a half. But while I was rereading the Ender's Game series earlier this year, like a month ago, I would pick up the Kindle and read. First therapy appointment. Okay, good luck, brother. What's up, Paul Park? Cuz, are you Australian? No, mate. I live here, brother. I love the Australians in physical Asia, though. What do I do for work? I'm a coder. I want to go to bed with intention too. Oh yeah, I don't go to sleep. I pass out, you know. I scroll until I pass out. Something that's helped me is I've started putting on YouTube videos, like long form YouTube videos, like something about like running technique or like a shoe review. And then I'll go to sleep to that. And that's been working out pretty well. Yeah. Reading manga on the Kindle. Yeah, so I would say reading manga is not as good as reading a book, but it's still loads better than scrolling, loads even better than YouTube. So yeah, like we just gotta set these goals, right? Like the Hamilton letters, I think are a little bit like intellectual, you know? Like that sounds a little pompous, but I really am interested because of the Hamilton play. But if it wasn't for that, I would have picked like a fantasy book, like Halo, or like maybe Narnia. Is Kindle worth it? Yeah, you can get one for like 60 bucks. Do I do Scrum? No, because I'm kind of siloed on my own team. Oh yeah, Ender's Game is next up on the list. Hell yeah. Is that because of my influence? That felt scammy. Good. How's it going? What's up, Waddy? Were you the guy talking to me about quitting flavored air the last stream? Yeah. Yeah, good stuff, Captain Cobb. Yeah, when I say that I'm against the ZA, right? You could probably stand to do it less. Even the people who do it productively, you know? How far am I running right now? It says 3.3 miles. I'll probably be at about 3.5. Am I using sunscreen? Not today. I kind of rushed out the door today. That was you? Yeah. I thought about your words. Why delay doing something that will make your life better? That actually applies to a lot of things right now, Waddy. So, good stuff. Thank you for the follow, Valley. Thank you, Waddy. Yeah, I was thinking about our interaction a few times afterwards. Moonreader app in the Library of Genesis is a good option. Is that on the phone? Hell yeah, Danny M. Yeah, lots of people laud the series. Discussion about it is not very ubiquitous on YouTube, you know, which is surprising in this day and age. I guess it had its heyday before the internet was really the internet it is today. But I think I'll start that. I'll make a bunch of videos on it and I'll post it on YouTube, you know? Yeah, Captain Cobb, I would say you could use ZA like twice as often as you use alcohol, you know? And it would be still better than alcohol. But yeah, I know what you mean. I can abide non-judgmentally someone's use of ZA. Toronto, I'll say if someone hits the ZA like 4 times a week, I would still be okay with that, but that would be the absolute max. And they better be doing it like the right way. They better be doing it and then doing something else. You know, something that they would do with or without the ZA. So like watching Family Guy without the ZA is a little questionable. I don't really believe that a lot of people would be doing that, you know? Okay, 10 out of 10 rest. Okay, I think that means I'm done for the day. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Wadi, I did that the first time and I did like 150 days. Malikri, thanks for the follow. Does the Lion game? Not really nowadays. And then asking them to hold me to it. Yeah. Wish I had your weather. Yeah, I'm grateful for it. Go to workout today. Nice, thank you. Are you into map games like CK2? I don't know what that is. But no, I'm into basically no games other than Clash Royale and Tsum Tsum on my phone. All right, there's probably about 5 minutes left in this live today. Maybe a little less than that even. What's your league in Clash? I don't know. I'm above 10,000 trophies. Hold on, let me stop this watch workout. Let's see, cooldown. Okay, I'm on my cooldown. Clash Royale is fun slop. I would agree. I'm going to get ripped. The thing is, it's hard to get ripped, man. Good luck to you. Like, I don't know, if I could look like an NBA shooting guard, if I could look like, I don't know who, like D Rose, just like lean, I'd be pretty happy. Thanks for the follow, serious username. I got kicked out of the clan. Yeah. Yeah, the people who are joining my Clash Royale clan, like, I need you guys to do the wars. That's kind of the whole point. The whole point of me blowing up on TikTok was to get more people into my Clash Royale clan. Am I the Lion guy? Yeah. Although that bit's starting to fall off. I've posted a few that I thought were good and they don't really take off. So I said D-Rose, yeah. Is that too lofty of a goal? Like, a lot of the NBA players are bulked up more than people realize. Earlier, but man, DM you my book recs? Yeah. If you've accidentally reacted to like a story before, like the way TikTok has it, you can only DM once. And I can't accept all of them. I would like try to when I was first blowing up so that people could still DM me if they wanted to. But if you DM'd me and like now you can't, just comment on my pinned vid. Oh, hey, thank you for the heart me. Oh shoot, what's up, Junie? What's up, man? I'm running. You know, Dwight Howard shoulders. If you guys don't know about Junie, he's also a Yap creator. He's got quite a good physique. He's got the kind of physique I don't even aim for at this point. But he offered to coach me. But right now I'm in my run era. So hopefully I can get skinny with abs. And then I'll come asking for help getting bulked, you know. Good form to failure in the gym and protein every day, yeah. Wadi, I do have a Discord. So if you're in the bulletin for my main account, basically, you could go to my profile, hit my link tree, and my Discord link is there. Okay, time to put away the tripod because I'm about to walk. Oh God, what's happening? All right, camera's gonna go a little wild for a second, guys, sorry. Okay. Oh boy. Bear with me, guys. Okay, boom. Thanks for the follow, Wadi. Oh, I'll do the Rex there, okay. Hit protein every day, yeah. So, I'll see where I get. How many accounts do I have, bro? I have 3. I have the mainline one, I have this one, and then I have one where I talk about quitting flavored air, which I haven't posted to in a while because I haven't been very good about that. Yeah. Did I quit? No. Well, I quit for 138 days. I've been relapsed for about 90 days now. So, and I keep, like, I woke up this morning saying like I'm gonna wake up a non-user. What's the third one? It's Chan Thinks, CHAN Thinks. That's the handle. It's pretty small. I think it's got like 1,000 followers. And I just talk about quitting flavored air on there. And I made that before anything blew up. I made that before I was the Lion. I made that before I was the Jersey Mike's guy. Yeah. But I kind of want like a separation of concerns. Like, I want to know if my content in one area would have been worthwhile to people without being the Lion. I've always been the Lion. Thank you. Captain Cobb, I've thought about it, but I know I can go cold turkey. So I just want to go cold turkey. But then on days where I cave and then I end up buying a new device, maybe I should just buy the pouches. I think I'll do that. So I'm going to throw away the one I have tonight. And then I'm not going to cave. I'm going to wake up tomorrow non-vapor. But if I do, I'll buy the pouches instead because it's getting expensive. Jeremy Lin, I don't know, bro. I tend to be on the hairier side, and even then, my facial hair is not very hairy. My arms and my legs are kind of hairy. All right, guys. I am going to end the live, okay? All of you who've been here, Yanux, Yansux, you've been here. Captain Cobb, you've been here. Spiral and Mimi, if you guys are here, yep, Mimi, bye. Who else? Wadi, Mitch. Thanks for the follow, Cordy. Who else was talking a lot today? Oh, Charundo, maybe he left. Yeah, but thank you.